Hello, welcome to my channel, and um, have welcome having you guys back. Yeah. So we're gonna be working on something so that are common, right? Um, C level programming, low level language, which is a C language. So gonna discuss all the concepts that we need to know here. So when we done going through our Betty and ever, so um, we have turned the file based on our previous video. So the next thing is we want to test this file. We want to know how it works. We want to know how things goes first of all. So we're gonna start from where we stop. So we have sudo move Betty to bin. Then the next thing, you can type the file using Betty and runs it and see what happens. So that's the next thing we're gonna do, but we're gonna do that here in this video. So make sure if you have missed the previous video, make sure you catch up with it before proceeding to this one. So let's get started. So write a script that runs a C file through a preprocessor and save the result into another file. Um, so the certain script that runs using a preprocessor. So but before you do that, you make sure you have installed this GCC, because GCC is kind of a complier. So make sure you install this. So if I try running this, you can see it's giving me error, kind of error, but make sure you run that. If your error is more than this, you need to install it. So you can go online and see how it's been installed, but I can just show you one over here. So let me just how to install GCC. So I have this very good one here that can show you all the syntax on how to install your GCC and start working with it. So that's the most important part. So make sure you have that installed um, on your system, whether you're using Linux or you are using Ubuntu or whichever one you are using. Just make sure you have that installed. So this is the page. So if you look here, you can see installing GCC on Ubuntu. So the first thing you're going to run is this code here, which is sudo apt and update and whatever. And the next thing you're going to run is this sudo apt install builds essential. That's the next thing you're going to run. Then after that, you're going to run this one here. You copy it, paste it on your this thing and run it. Then finally you're going to run this, which is GCC version, to check which version, to check if it is installed, to confirm if you really have it. So if I run this, it's going to tell you whether I have that on my listing. So you can see that I have the GCC app already installed. So now the first thing I'm going to do is to install the app, that is the GCC and whatever I want to install. Then next thing is to check our code. So we're gonna create a file, but before creating the file, we're gonna create a folder. So if you have not done this by now, I'll encourage you for the project sec to get a repository, create a repository, which is the repo here, which is ALX low level language programming. So you make sure you have that. So to create that, you create that at your repository, then you clone it here, but if possible you can work it out here, then you push it to the distance. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna create my here, make dir. So you can watch my video on I'm gonna put the description there on how you can push your contents from your main working this thing up there. But make sure you have the same name you have there. So make sure you have this. So you're going to make a directory. So if we check ls, you're gonna see we have elx low level programming, which is this guy here. So we now have that. So we're gonna cd inside this. So elx, we're gonna cd inside there. Then we're gonna see ls. You see it's an empty, there's nothing inside, like nothing inside. So we're gonna try to, if you have done something earlier before, you can pull it down here, or you can work here and upload it, but just make sure you have this on your repository. Then make sure you know how to link this with your repository, but I'm not going to do that now. But it's better you can create this and clone it here, as simple as that. Then you work from this place directly. You can clone it to this thing. That's what I'm gonna advise you to do. So now the first thing you're gonna do here, I've done that, and the next thing is we're gonna create this directory, hello world. So you copy that. We're gonna create a directory inside. So we're gonna say make another directory. So we're gonna paste that hello world and whatever there, that is it. So it's not necessarily use a sandbox, you can use any device and it works like good. So if we check that, you see inside here we have our 0x0 hello world. Then we're gonna navigate, but before we navigate, let us create a readme file. So I'm gonna create a readme file, and I'm gonna say sorry, I'm gonna echo something inside my readme file. Someone told me I'm echoing to eternity. Okay, so I'm gonna put double quote, this is a C programming, is a C programming project. So just make sure you have that with exactly as it is in this place. So you're gonna hit enter. So make sure you have it at your root directory. The next thing is we're gonna navigate inside our 0x0 hello world. So how to navigate, cd, then the name of the directory you want to enter, you hit enter, and that's it. That's what we want to do there. So next thing is when you see ls, you see that what we have here is this thing. But normally, before doing that, you should make sure that you have initialized this repository. So I'll tell you how to do that. First of all, you say git. After going back, you say git, then init to initialize it for those people that are going to upload it to this, but I'm not doing that here. So let me go back to my hello world. So let me clear the screen so you can see what I'm doing. So the next thing we're gonna do is, after doing that, in this file we're gonna create another readme file. So gonna echo another stuff here, echo, then I'm gonna put Betty, then I'm gonna close it, then put that readme, then .md. So that's what I'm going to do for here. So make sure we have our readme.md inside this project we are about doing. So, and that's it. So the next thing we're going to do is, after doing the LX low level language and whatever, the next thing we're going to create a file. So we're going to call the file main.c. That's what we're going to call the file main.c. So calling this file main.c. So I'm gonna open this file in Vim. So Vim space, then main.c. That's what I'm gonna call that. So I put it inside mode. Then I'm gonna copy this block of code. So this block of code always return 0 if it's successful. So I'm just gonna copy this part of the code here. I'm just gonna copy the put inside. So I'm gonna leave the comments for a purpose, so I'm gonna explain for you later what I meant when I left that. So actually I'm gonna add a header, so to install framework. So I'm gonna say include, then I'm gonna bring this here, calls stdio.h, and that is it. So without the header, so I'm going to show you how Betty works whenever you have installed it. So I'm going to go to escape mode. So I haven't gone to escape mode. I'm going to save it, column, then WQ to exit. Now I've done that. Now I'm going to make it executable by chmode, then everybody then they should be able to execute this file. All users should be able to execute the file. The name of the file is main.c. So that's it. So now if we say Betty, then we'll say main.c, and we're gonna hit enter. Now you can see it's giving me main 5 warning. Please, no space at the start of a line. That's the first warning, no space at the start of a line. So 0 error, 1 warning, 6 line checked. So they have checked those 6 lines and they have confirmed those errors that I've done. No description found for the function main. So I've not created any description for the function main. That is another stuff there that is missing in my code. So I'm gonna rectify all this. That's the function of main. So I'm gonna enter inside. So now I'm gonna look for where the issue is coming from. Set back to insert mode. So I come over here and I think there's no space here. I'll remove the space we have here. Then I'm gonna put a tab there for indentation, a tab there. So now if I save this, then now try something like the Betty again, Betty.main. Now you can see the warning has disappeared. Now the warning here we have is no description found for function main. So I'm gonna solve that one too. So I'm gonna go to VM now. So those are the errors that I have on this thing. So I'm gonna give it a description. So to give a description, you put dot, then you put star there. So I'm gonna add a star there, then gonna add another star there, then hit enter. Then to add a description, you make sure that the name you use to call this function, which is main here, should be the name you have here. So I'm gonna say main, then I'm gonna put a dash there, put this is the main function, this is the main function. Simple stuff like this. Then I'm gonna close it, adding a backslash, and that is it. So I have added this thing. So now I can escape, then save and quit. So now if we go back to our Betty to check this again, now you can see no description found for the value found for return value of main. So there's no description for the return value. So this return I've not given a description, so I'm gonna give a description. So I'm going back to my Vim again, then I'm gonna add a description for this thing. So end here, then insert mode, then come over here, then I'm gonna say return. Then I'm gonna put this here, then this will return, 0, 0, this will return 0 if successful. So now that we have done that, I'm gonna create a space here. So this will return 0 if successful. So I'm gonna exit this and I'm gonna write and save. Then if we run it now, betty.main, so you can see now there is no error. What we have here is main and main.c. So you make sure in this stage the first one, which is the function, have a dash and the rest have a column, and so you can put as multiple line comments as you feel like putting. So that is that for the Betty, and that's the purpose of Betty in our code. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit my main. So I don't want those codes there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here, then I'm going to copy this completely like this to this point. I'm going to copy that, then come over here, then insert mode, then I'm going to paste everything we have there. I think that's a mistake. Let me undo. Okay, so permit me to delete what I've done here. I'm gonna delete everything, then I'm gonna paste new one. Yeah, so I make sure I correct the mistake here, not dealing with space but indentation, and that is it. So we save that, then we quit. So now that we have done with that, what's the next thing to do? Now we have when you check cat.c, you're gonna see that inside our main folder, but make sure that we have exported our file. But we're gonna create a file. I'm gonna call the file 0 preprocessor whatever, I don't know. So I'm gonna do that, then gonna vim, then I'm gonna paste that. So now let's know in C level language, yeah, since I don't know whether it's 4 or 3 or how many things that happen, but first of all we have the preprocessor. This always checks your code, then it actually interprets the code, then it removes the comments. That means the comment you have, if you have any comments there, it removes the comment in the include and puts the header there, and it does many stuff like that, which we're going to look into. It really interprets the code. It tells you more about your code, kind of something like that. Let's look what the preprocessor does first. So we're gonna create a preprocessor, then we're gonna put this. So I'm gonna put hash, and insert mode, then I'm gonna put hash, then exclamation mark, so bin bash. So that's that. The next thing we're gonna put is our GCC. So for this to work, you make sure you have installed your GCC complier or whatever. So you're gonna put your $sign, then you're gonna put CFILE, that's C file. So because we're gonna do that with the C file, we're gonna export our code inside the C file. The C file is going to be doing more of our manipulations. So we're gonna put E there, then dash O, and that's it. So we're gonna escape this, and we're gonna quit and save. So now that is that. So the next thing we're gonna do is to make it executable. We're gonna make this preprocessor executable. That's the next thing to do. So I'm gonna say chmod a plus x, then we're gonna do the 0 processing whatever. I'm gonna hit enter. So if we check this, we see our preprocessor is here. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the export of a thing to export what we have, and to do that we use this code export c file main.c. so we're gonna export that. You guys gotta copy that and come here. So we are exporting everything into one file, and that file creates itself. So anytime we're running it, make sure it creates a file. So we're gonna put that there for the exporting. So good. We'll do ls. Actually nothing changed. Let's see, ls dash e. Actually nothing happens, but actually something happens in the background with this main.c which we have here. Now that we have done that, the next thing we're gonna do is to try executing the preprocessor. So we're gonna put that there and hit enter. File name missing after O, so I'm gonna check that. So just give me a second to do that. So just give me a second to check that out. So I'm gonna put this there. So that's what's missing. I forget to add a C there. That's the name of the file. So the C is the file that is going to be created. So I can now go back. So cd inside. Okay. So cd home. So I'm back to where I stopped. So I'm gonna put the file that is gonna be where is the file that is going to display whatever that have been pre-processed. So we're gonna say ls, sorry, yeah, ls. Let's check what we have there. So this our working file where we are working inside. So this is what we have here. Now the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna correct some errors there. So let me vim there again and 0 tab. So I'm gonna add a C there. So I'm gonna add a C there. That's the name of the file that is gonna be created. So when we've done that, we're gonna escape, then quit. Right, quit, and that is it. So the next thing we're gonna do is, after that, we're gonna run the preprocessor, execute it again. So oh sorry, we're gonna execute it like this and hit enter. Yeah. So after that, we're going to I think it works this time around. Yeah, it works this time around. So if we say ls, we expect to see a new file called c. This is a file that has been created, and if we check this file, we use cat. We check that what is inside that file. So you can see what we have inside the file. Now all these things you see here are what is containing inside that head we just created, which is the whatever, and it's kind of much. What the hell? It's much, man. This is everything that is inside that C file, every damn thing inside the C file. So All these are inside that simple head stuff we just created, that one that looks like this. Include, then we're gonna put something like stdio standard io, just this, sorry, .h. So all the stuff here is what has been displayed here. So now the next thing is, you can see after all this gibberish here, now your concentration should be here, which is this. So you can see it only puts down our function here, what we have here, that's what it puts down. So if for instance I'm using if and else statement, I define something, I say if this is this, I want you to display this, and if this is that, it's gonna only display what is working. The remaining codes that are not running will not show, will not even come into consideration. You can see it only displays the file without our comment. You see there is no comment here, it removes the comment. You look at this, our studio head, look at our user include studio head, the remaining comment that comes with the include was totally removed. So this is what we have there. So this is what the preprocessor is all about. Now the next thing is the complier. So I'm gonna clear this bunch of stuff here we have. The next thing is the complier. We're gonna comply. So to comply is I'm gonna check here. We'll come over to this place, then I'm gonna look for complier, which is this stuff here we have here. So complier, I'm gonna copy this, or compiler, sorry. Compiler. So I'm gonna put vim, then paste that there. So I'm gonna hit enter. So inside, what's the code for compiling? It's just simple, your gcc dash the name of whatever you have there. So I'm gonna put gcc, so sorry, insert mode, forget to enter in my insert mode. So I'm gonna put this exclamation mark slash bin slash bash. So that's what we have there. So I'm gonna put the gcc, then dash c, then we'll put $sign, that's the name of the file where we export stuff in, then file, and I think that's it, that's all. So I'm gonna get out of this place, then right and quit, that's all. So now if we check the next thing to do to confirm is to put your dash and ls and whatever you put there. So I'm just gonna copy this, I'm just gonna copy that, and we have so if I run that file, I run this compiler that I just created, it's gonna create a file, but I need to make it executable. Ch mode a plus x, then the compiler is 1 dash, and if you check ls, you can see there is nothing here. Take note, this is what we have: main.c, c, readme.md, compiler, and this is what we have there. So what are we going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to run that file and see what file is going to create. So I'm going to put, don't forget that we put our main inside, our main dot whatever inside this file. So we want to see what the compiler is going to display, if it's going to create a file. So creating the file, I'm going to put the one tab whatever there. So let us check it again, ls. Now you can see it has added another file, which is main.o. That's the file, and that file does not exist previously. So I'm gonna display the file. So I'm gonna say cat dash v, actually man.ow slash the head. So it's gonna read the head part of, I don't know. Let's run that, and you can see what we have here. So we have all these here. Now note, whenever you see your stuff like this, know that there needs to be escape an escape key. The escape key is supposed to be dash and n, that tell you that escape to the next line. So that's why you see stuff like this. So this is all the gibberish you get. This is the gibberish you get. So this what is compiling out of all those bunch of codes you have written. But that's the most important thing to take note of there. So I'm gonna hit enter again. Let me try this thing to see everything in that file apart from the head part. I'm gonna get this and hit enter. So this is what we have. All this actually it's not even much. This was more just kind of bunch of this thing, but this is what it complies into an assembly language or assembly code. So we're gonna create a file, then we're gonna call it assembler. You come to this part of your this thing, assembler. Okay, so automatically those files are going to create themselves. So I'm going to create a file, we'll call them assembler. So I'm going to paste this here. Okay, I'm going to add vim before the assembler, then I'm going to hit enter. So in a new file, I'm going to put insert mode, and I'll start my typing there, and colon, then so go to the next line, do the gcc, then the name of the file, which is our main dot whatever we have there. File, then dash o, and we have c is font, which we have here. I'm gonna hit escape button, then right and save. So I'm gonna clear my screen. So I'm gonna put it on execution mode. So let me list what we have there. You see we have the assembler whatever. So I'm gonna put ch mode a plus x, then the assembler file. And after that, what the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna execute this file. So I'm gonna put the name of the file there, but take a note, see what we have here. So we expect to see c is fun as our new file created. So we'll say ls c, we have c is fun, which is this file that just created itself right here right now. So if we run this file, we expect to see what we have there. So I'll say cat, then c is fun. So still get bunch of gibberish, but not actually what we have there. So let us see how we can get something reasonable from exactly what we have here. So you can just come over to this place, then put where is the c is fun. Okay, let me see cat main.c. We're gonna drop this ls, we're gonna give this. Okay, I think I made a mistake there, but I'm gonna rectify that. So let me see. So no such file. So I think I've skipped one of the steps which I'm gonna check on. So gonna check on that assembly on my, so it will come to this assembly. Oh sorry, it's supposed to be -s and not -c. So going back to make corrections, I'm gonna remove that C, this one. I'm gonna get rid of that. Then I'm gonna navigate inside that my folder, which is cd assembly. Okay, sorry, it should be 2 or 1. Sorry, vim. Okay, this date here. So I'm gonna change this to insert mode. Then gonna get rid of this. Then come back here and add a -s there, and I think that's it. So if I escape, then save this file. Now let me think of running the previous file here from. Okay, so I'm gonna run this again. So let's check ls. Now we have main.s. So let's check that. So I'm gonna say cat then main.s, and I'm gonna hit enter. So you can see we have exactly what we have there. So you can continue like this. The link to where you can get the codes on the description, so you just check that there. So I'm not gonna make the video more longer than as it is now. So just make sure you catch up with everything, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Actually, I'm gonna pull this video down. So that's it. So don't forget, when you are done, you make sure you git, then you add, then after git add, then you git, then you commit. You commit with stuff like this. You can call it dirty, then you can git, then push. Sure, that is it. So thank you for having me, and have a nice day.